football takes its historical roots from different sorts of origins within different places. And particularly in smaller sorts of towns, there's a tendency for particular sorts of histories to develop in a way that can remain quite traditional and be expressed quite strongly in a way that might not be similar in bigger towns. And so my thoughts on Coquimbo and its history would be more to compare it with a town like, I'm thinking of a place, something like Wolverhampton in England, so towns that might have become cities, as Wolverhampton did not so long ago, 1990s I think, with a bigger population but quite similar, but one football team in the town. So you have other teams within England, for example, like Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Everton, in these big northern cities. London, of course, the biggest city of all, with several teams, and with great passions for their teams, but nevertheless the cities are split between different people. So these smaller cities have a different type of expression because they only have one team representing that town, and it's something quite unique.
The football match, yeah, it's perfectly understandable. It was called Showing the Flag, and wherever the Royal Navy went, they did various things. They had open day on their ships, so they allowed the local people to come on board the ships and enjoy hospitality on the ships. B, they played sport against the people. So they played rugby, they played soccer, they played cricket, but above all, football, soccer. And so I can quite believe that they came ashore in Coquimbo and they played soccer against the local team. Nothing unusual about that at all. And they lost. There's nothing unusual about that as far as British football teams are concerned either, is there? So it was showing the flag, and it was part and parcel of saying, look, the British Empire isn't that bad after all. It's a good thing.
But I think it's really interesting that a Royal Navy ship should go to the trouble of not only visiting, obviously it was on duty, but arranging this game of football with the local people. They obviously did it for a sense of friendship, and it was obviously a popular game. And after the game, if they gave them a set of shirts, I think that was even greater, because it encouraged obviously football in that particular town.
To give the shirts over when they were beaten, yeah, brilliant. So I can believe that story. I would like to know where the colours came from.
It's also, I think, very exciting that they're still using the same colours that were given. The shirts that were given, the red and the yellow and the black shirts, for the team today. So I think there's a great historical context to that story.
And this shirt, I mean, I can quite where that came from, I don't know. The colours, I really don't know. But I think it's amazing that the team has actually kept those colours ever since that time. Fantastic. Because the difficulty with a ship like the Flora, she'd been built at Pembrooke Dock, but she never went back to Pembrooke Dock, you see. She was based at Devonport, that was her home base. Her crew came from the Devonport area, so maybe there's Devonport connections there. Unfortunately, not New Welsh connections.